Have you ever noticed this painful truth? The kinder you are, the more people seem to disrespect you. You hold the door open, no, thank you. You help a friend, and suddenly they expect it every single time. You sacrifice, you give, you bend over backwards, and somehow you become invisible in their eyes. And here's the worst part. If you don't understand the psychology behind this, you'll spend your entire life asking yourself, why doesn't anyone respect me? Why do they take me for granted? Why do they keep crossing my boundaries again and again? This is not just a moral issue. This is human psychology. And the Stoics understood this truth 2,000 years ago. Today, we're going to dive deep into this paradox. Why kindness so often turns into disrespect. The hidden trap of the scarcity bias. A story from ancient Rome that reveals the danger of endless giving. And finally, 4 timeless Stoic principles to protect your kindness without ever losing respect. So stay with me until the end. Because once you see kindness through the eyes of a Stoic, you will never see yourself or others the same way again. And if you find value here, don't just watch. Join us. Subscribe to The Stoic Habit, where we don't just share ideas. We train warriors of the mind. Part 1. The psychological trap of kindness, the scarcity bias. Have you ever wondered why the more generous you are, the less people seem to value you? It's not because kindness is wrong. It's because of a hidden flaw in human psychology, something philosophers and modern psychologists call the scarcity bias. Human beings naturally assign more value to what is rare and less value to what is abundant. Think about it. Gold is precious because it is scarce. Diamonds are desired because they are difficult to find. But air, something we literally cannot live without, goes unnoticed. We breathe thousands of times a day, yet how often do you stop and whisper to yourself, "Air is amazing, air is life"? Almost never. Why? Because it's always there. It's free. It's abundant. Now, here is the painful truth. Your kindness works the same way. If it becomes automatic, always available, always ready, never refusing, then people unconsciously classify it as something ordinary, something that requires no gratitude. In their minds, if it is always there, then it must not be worth much. This is why so many kind people end up being overlooked, used, or even disrespected. Not because they lack goodness, but because their goodness has been taken for granted. Picture this. You are the friend who always says yes, the one who always sacrifices, always gives, always bends. At first, people praise you, they thank you, they admire your generosity. But over time, their attitude changes. They stop saying thank you. They start expecting it. Your kindness shifts from being a gift into being a background condition, like the air they breathe. And once you are seen as the background, you lose your value in their eyes. You are no longer the strong individual they respect. You are simply the person they use. That is the cruel paradox of kindness. The more freely it flows, the less weight it carries. And this is why those who set boundaries, those who are careful about when, how, and to whom they give, end up being pursued, respected, even admired. Not because they are cold, but because their kindness is rare enough to mean something. So remember this truth. Kindness without limits becomes invisible. Kindness with boundaries becomes priceless. Part 2. The story of Gaius and the nature of human ingratitude. Let me tell you a story. It comes from ancient Rome. A merchant named Gaius was known across the city as the kindest man alive. Always giving, always helping, always smiling. If someone needed money, he offered it. If someone needed time, he gave it. If someone needed comfort, he was there. At first, people admired him. What a generous soul, they said. What a man of virtue. But then, something strange began to happen. The more Gaius gave, the more people demanded. The more he sacrificed, the less they respected him. Gratitude faded. Praise turned into expectation. People no longer thanked him. They simply assumed his kindness was a resource to be used, like water from a well that never runs dry. One day, a man Gaius considered a close friend borrowed a large sum of money. When Gaius eventually asked for it back, the friend laughed. "You don't need it," he said. "Besides, I thought you were generous." And in that moment, the mask fell. Gaius saw the truth. The world does not respect endless giving. It respects boundaries. This story may be 2,000 years old, but doesn't it sound painfully familiar today? Think about your own life. The colleague who takes credit for your work because you always cover for them. The friend who constantly calls when they need help but disappears when you need them. The partner who assumes your sacrifices are simply part of the deal. Like Gaius, you may start with admiration. But slowly, almost invisibly, your generosity shifts into something else. Not a gift, not a virtue. A duty, a chain around your neck. And here's the psychological truth. People respect what they must earn. They dismiss what is given freely. The Stoics saw this clearly. Marcus Aurelius warned that even good deeds must be guided by reason, not weakness. Seneca reminded us that a man who gives everything away loses not only his possessions, but also his dignity. So, what lesson do we learn from Gaius? That kindness without restraint is not kindness at all. It is self-betrayal. And until you understand this, your life will echo his story. Admired at first, but eventually taken for granted. Part 3. Why people disrespect free kindness. The scarcity principle and Stoic insight. Why do people disrespect kindness when it is given freely? Why does generosity, when unlimited, turn into weakness in their eyes? The answer lies in the principle of scarcity. Human beings are wired to assign value to what is rare. When something is difficult to obtain, time, attention, resources, it carries weight. It commands respect. But when something is always available, the mind begins to downgrade it. It becomes ordinary, forgettable, expected. Kindness, when poured out without boundaries, suffers the same fate. Think about the nice guy everyone knows. Always available, always willing, always saying yes. At first, people smile at him. They appreciate his effort. But over time, they stop noticing. His presence is taken for granted. His kindness is no longer a choice. It becomes the background noise of his identity. Meanwhile, the person who sets limits, the one who says no when it matters, the one who values their own time and energy, suddenly, that person becomes more respected, even desired. Not because they are cruel, but because their yes actually means something. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "People cease to praise what is always ready. Let your presence have value, not your absence go unnoticed." This is the Stoic insight. If your kindness has no boundaries, it loses its meaning. People stop seeing it as a virtue. They see it as a weakness. And once they believe you cannot say no, they will assume you lack self-respect. If you do not value your own time, why should they? If you do not guard your own energy, why should they? That is the cruel joke of human nature. We chase what is scarce. We ignore what is free. So the lesson is clear. Do not let your kindness become a currency without value. Protect it, guard it, choose where to spend it. Because only then, only when your kindness is intentional, measured, and scarce, will people finally see it for what it is. Not weakness, but strength. Part 4. Stoic principles to command respect without losing kindness. So here's the question. If endless giving leads to disrespect, how do we remain kind without becoming invisible? The Stoics gave us timeless answers. Principles that protect your heart, your time, and your dignity. Let's explore 4 of them. Principle 1. Kindness must be intentional, not automatic. Marcus Aurelius helped many, but he was not a people pleaser. His kindness was guided by choice, not by fear of rejection. He asked himself, Am I doing this because I believe it is right, or because I am afraid to say no? That's a question you must ask, too. Every act of kindness should come from strength, not weakness. When you choose to give, it carries meaning. When you give because you fear conflict, it carries chains. Principle 2. Learn to say no without apology, without explanation. Seneca once wrote, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." If you are always available, your presence means nothing. Try this. Say the words, "I can't do that." Then stop. Don't justify. Don't beg for understanding. Watch how people shift. Some will push back. Others will adjust. But either way, they will begin to realize your time, your energy, your life, they have value. Principle 3. Reward appreciation, withdraw from entitlement. If someone cherishes your kindness, continue giving. If someone demands it, step back. Imagine this. A friend thanks you deeply for your help, you'll want to do more. But another shrugs, expects it again tomorrow, and calls you selfish when you refuse. The Stoic answer? Withdraw. Because true respect is born from gratitude, not entitlement. Principle 4. Seek respect, not approval. A Stoic does not live to be liked. They live to act with virtue. And ironically, when you stop chasing approval, people begin to respect you more. Think about the leaders you admire. Are they the ones desperate to please everyone? Or are they the ones who stand firm in their values, even when it costs them popularity? Respect grows from strength. Approval fades with the wind. So here is your challenge. Examine your kindness. Is it chosen or automatic? Does it create respect or breed entitlement? The Stoics remind us, kindness is a gift, not a weakness. But without boundaries, it is wasted. Be the person who gives freely, but from strength, not from fear. Let your kindness shine like fire, warm to those who respect it, untouchable to those who abuse it. Part 5. Practical applications for the modern world. The question now is simple. How do we live this wisdom today? How do we apply Stoic boundaries in a world that constantly asks for more of your time, more of your energy, more of your kindness? At work. Picture yourself in the office. A colleague asks you to finish their task. You agree once, but then they ask again and again. Suddenly, you're not seen as a team player. You're seen as the one who always covers. The Stoic answer? Set limits. Help once out of choice. But when the pattern repeats, say, "I can't take this on right now." Not out of anger, not with guilt. Simply with clarity. Watch how the respect slowly returns. In friendships, true friends value your kindness. False friends exploit it. When someone thanks you, keep giving. When someone expects it, pause. Friendship is not measured by how much you can sacrifice. It is measured by mutual respect. In relationships, love is not blind obedience. It is balance. If you give endlessly, you create dependence, not partnership. But if you learn to say, "This is my limit," you do not weaken love, you strengthen it. Because respect always breathes life into affection. In society, you will meet strangers who test your kindness. Some will be grateful, others will see you as a tool. The Stoic way is not to harden your heart, but to sharpen your boundaries. Give when it is virtuous. Withhold when it is wasteful. Remember, kindness is not about being everywhere for everyone at every moment. It is about choosing when, where, and how you give. That choice, that boundary, is what transforms kindness from weakness into power. So carry this into your daily life. Work with dignity, love with balance, friend with clarity, and above all, respect yourself first, so others have no choice but to follow. Conclusion. Remember this. Kindness is not weakness, but kindness without boundaries becomes weakness. The Stoics remind us, give without begging, respect without kneeling, be kind without becoming a doormat. If you saw yourself in today's message, don't be angry. Be wiser. From this moment forward, choose carefully, draw your lines, and let your kindness carry value. As Marcus Aurelius said, the worth of a man lies in what he chooses to keep, not in what he allows others to take. If this spoke to you, subscribe for more Stoic lessons. And drop a comment below with just 3 words, respect my boundaries. Let that be your pledge today.